Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this video, I'm going to show you guys another way to finish your jewelry off using buttons. Now, I've used buttons forever in jewelry making. I've used buttons in macrame bracelets. I'll put some pictures up as examples. And I've also used buttons in wrap bracelets. Again, I will put some pictures up. And if you go far back into my early YouTube years, you may remember, if you've been around for a while, that I used to make button rings. So I've used buttons for a long time. Now recently I came up with the idea to use buttons with bead stringing wire, and I haven't seen anybody else do this, so I'm going to do a tutorial for you guys. Now, you can use any beads you want to for this project, but you will have to use either a shank button or a button with 2 holes, which is what I'm using here. I was going to use a shank button, but then I found that in my stash and it matched my beads so perfectly that I decided to go with that. And that's it. A 2-hole or shank button, and of course you're going to need bead string wire and crimps. But for your beads, you can use whatever beads you want. You will need seed beads though to do the loop here, to do around the button, and I like to use seed beads in between my beads. As you can see, this is the bracelet we're going to be working on. It's so pretty. Now, I did say that you can use beads from your own stash, but I am using beads from Czech Beads Exclusive monthly subscription. This is their June box. I believe it was called Summertime or something like that. I will leave a link for the subscription box down there below in the description bar, and I'm also going to leave links to materials here individually. So if you like some of these beads, you can go and get just the beads yourself. You'll see the links down there below. Now, before I got the idea for this bracelet, I was looking through the beads in the box because there's so many beautiful, unique beads. I really love that subscription, and I came up with this necklace here. I really love these big rondelles. They're like ruby picasso. See that blue on there? They're so pretty, and I thought they looked really good with that flower bead there. And I mixed some colors together, some unusual things, metal colors that I've never done before. I did copper, right? Like an antique copper with this nickel colored Czech Fire Polished bead, and then I have bronze seed beads, so it's kind of unusual. And I have my Dagger beads down there. It's super pretty. And I will have a picture of this at the beginning and end, and if you want, you guys can remake this. The only thing I used from my stash to make this is 11-0 Miyuki seed beads. I use the dark bronze color, and I use bead string wire. I did crimps, crimp covers here at the end, as you could see, a split ring, and a lobster claw clasp. And if you want, you can also add an extender chain. This necklace here completed, I think, was 22 inches. I really like that length there on myself, so that's what it looks like. It's so pretty. And now we're going to be working on the bracelet. So I already went ahead and I strung this up, and I'll take this off and open this up so you can see my pattern. These are so cute. And again, with this bracelet here, the only thing I'm using from my stash is the bead string wire, the 11-0 Miyuki dark bronze seed beads, and a cut button. But you can use, like I said, a 2-hole or a shank button, and I'll show you close up my pattern here. So I just have a seed bead in between every bead, and I have 3 white flowers, so I spaced them out like that, and I put the turquoise flowers beside them with the rondelles in between. And you may notice that this flower here has 6 petals, but this one has 5, so I have the 2 petals pointing towards the larger flower. See that? 2 petals pointing to the larger flower, and then the single petal I have pointing to the leaf there, and also I have my leaves going in this direction. I will zoom in on this for you guys. Okay, so that's what I have. And now let's go ahead and do some crimping. I have pliers out, but I'm not using crimping pliers because we can't really fold a crimp for this design here. We will have to be smashing it flat. So I'm going to put this back on this end. This is going to be my loop, this end here, and this is where my button is going to be. I have 3 seed beads here because I need a gap between this bead and my button, so I strung on 3 seed beads, okay? And then I have, I'll dump this out, I have some more 11 seed beads here, and I have, did I say it? I have 3 seed beads and a crimp bead right there. That's the crimp bead. It blends in so well, it looks like a bead, but it's actually a crimp. That's the crimp. Those are seed beads, okay? So I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, my button, slide that down, 3 seed beads. I'm going to pass through my button, and I actually have a fold in this wire, and by the way, I am using 18 inches of wire, but I'm just using wire from a necklace that I wasn't crazy about, so I cut the closure off and I'm reusing it. So I did not cut any special length, but I did measure it and it's 18 inches. But if you want, you can make this on a spool. You don't have to cut wire, okay? So I just have my 3 seed beads here. I folded back into my button, slide that up. I have a seed bead on each wire. Oops, I did not mean to weave back into that. I'm supposed to weave back into the crimp. Okay, so you should have this. A seed bead on each side. There's the crimp bead, and right there's my 3 seed beads, okay? I'm going to slide this up just like that, and I'm going to crimp this. Just flatten it, just like that. These are very fine pointed pliers, which makes it really easy for me to get in here. It's going to be a little bit trickier to crimp the other end. Okay, I'm going to pass my beads on, and I don't know if I need all this wire here. I might trim that off. Let's see. I'll just weave some. I'll do all of it. Okay, slide all of these down. Oh, there's a little tail right there. I think I should trim my wire underneath this bead because that's going to stick out. Okay, I'm going to trim it there so that this stays underneath, because there was too close of a gap there that my wire would poke out of my bracelet, but now it shouldn't because it's in the middle of that bead. Okay, so I just slid all of those beads down, and you will have to figure out how many beads you will need for your loop. I was just going to do all seed beads, but I had these 8 rondelles left over, and I thought, you know, I could put them into the loop. That would add more decoration, it would be more interesting, and I'm using them, you know, because these are just going to be sitting in my stash, and it'll probably be some time before I find another project for them, but that's what we have so far. There's my crimp, by the way. That's what that looks like over there. Okay, I already have a crimp tube here. Right here it is, in the middle. Now I did do 2 seed beads here. I probably should have did 3, but I have 2 up here because I needed this many beads for my button. So I have 2 seed beads, my rondelle. I think this was a 3x5, or was it? I can't remember the size. I think it was 3x5 rondelle. Anyways, I will link the rondelles down below in case you want to make this same bracelet. I have 2 seed beads rondelle, 1 seed bead rondelle, 2 seed beads rondelle, 1 seed bead rondelle, and I just alternate the pattern there. Okay. And now I'm going to weave this wire into my crimp and back into the bracelet. Okay, so I have to grab on to, not that one, that one's moving, this one here. I have to find the wire that is this one, okay, not the tail, and pull it tight, okay, and then pull this down. Pull it there. Okay, that's what it looks like. I want to make sure this works. Yes, it works. That's what it's going to look like. And you will probably have to adjust your beads if you're doing a different button. And you don't have to do the rondelles here like I'm doing. You can do seed beads. And by the way, you don't have to do 11 seed beads. You can do 8 seed beads, 10 seed beads. You can do 6 seed beads. It's totally up to you. Now I do have some slack here, so I have to tighten mine again because that's way too loose. It's not that one I have to pull. It's this one. Okay. Hold there. Pull that tight. Now I don't want this to be super stiff. I think this might be perfect right there. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp it, which is going to be a little tricky because see, we could break a seed bead if we're not careful. So I'm gently and carefully coming in here, crimping this, flipping it over. I wanted to use crimp covers on this, but there's no way that we can with this Y shape here. See that? There's no way we could put it, unless we made this very loose and we had wire exposed. And if you do have exposed wire here, because sometimes, you know, it's tricky. I still have issues sometimes when I'm making stuff like this where I can't get it tight enough and it gets loose on me, something happens, and you might be able to get a crimp cover on that. Okay, that's what it looks like. And I'm really happy with the tension here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail off. And there we go. Finished bracelet. That is so cute. I really like that. So this was it. Very simple, easy design. There's so many different ways you could do this. I like it a lot. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I also hope that you liked my necklace that I did. So here are the 2 pieces that I got with the, or that I made using the Czech Beads Exclusive monthly subscription box. I like both of them very much, and I will have a picture at the beginning and end of this video if you want to see what they look like better, because I realize my camera does not show, it shows the color well, but because it has like a darkness to it, it doesn't show how beautiful the pieces really are, the beads and stuff. So remember, I will have links for the beads that I used in both of these pieces down there in the description bar. I will list them individually. If you don't see the beads, it's probably because they're not in stock, and I will also put a link for the Czech Beads Exclusive monthly subscription box down there in the description bar. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. And check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.